This was originally written as a revenge tragedy, and it clearly comes out of the period. And again, you're dealing with Shakespeare at the beginning of his career, trying to find out what's going to work, what's going to pack them in, and make people come and see his work. And so he's based it off of the genre that was popular at that point in time. Productions which have done this as a very dark comedy, and it certainly, you can see it. I mean, it goes way over the top. I mean, it really does. It has some of the most horrific actions contained in it that you'll ever find in any text anywhere, and that can lend itself to that kind of dark humor. And I think there is both. I think we've tried to certainly find and honor the dark humor because you need those moments of release. It is, otherwise this would be a really horrific, not horrific in terms of having to endure the play, but horrific in terms of having to endure the actions within the play if you didn't have those moments of release and you were able to kind of release that tension so that then you can start to build it again. That's all by design. That's not anything that we necessarily have layered in as much as it is just simply paying attention to the text. You find that Shakespeare understood that very well, how to build up that tension, release it, and then start right over again. I think any director starts with trying to figure out the intent of the playwright, and then they, from there, try to find a world that is a logical, believable place where the action of the play can take place, a place that the audience can readily identify with, and that gives them some sort of a framework within which to understand the action of the play. We made a decision fairly early on that although all of the allusions to war, to the political struggles, while they certainly can comment on what's, and do comment on what's happening now, that wasn't necessarily the best place to set it. It seemed to want to reside in the historical period, not that Shakespeare created in it, which was anachronistic. I mean, they didn't wear togas on the Shakespeare stage, but we set it in 4 AD because it seemed that the breakdown of society, the breakdown of a civilization, seemed to be a very ripe moment to set this in. absolutely the end-all, be-all. It's the reason that we're there working on this project, is because this text gives us all of the clues that we need to be able to do the work that we need to do. It gives the clues to the costume designers, gives the clues to the set designer, to the lighting designer, and certainly it's everything to the director and to the actors, or it should be. There's almost an unbroken line that you can see in terms of this text, and I think this production. One of the things we're using is the stage directions from the actual 1623 First Folio text. And you see the action take place on stage, and you look up, and there projected is the stage direction that tells you that's the action that you're supposed to be doing. And there's just some sort of, I find, lovely connection between the immediacy of that written word and the action that's created on the stage. The text tells you who the characters are. The text tells you what the rhythm of the scene is. I mean, it is just so fundamental in terms of how you approach, especially Shakespeare. Thank you very much for coming, and certainly we all hope that you enjoy the show.